today's episode, I'm so excited because I get to talk to Alex Tantum, who is the founder at MLB Fits on Instagram. MLB Fits is changing the game of fashion from pre-game outfits, post-game interviews, and even just walking the streets. While doing this, they're showing off Major League players' personalities, beliefs, and even their drip. Let's give Alex a call and see how he is changing the game.
Alex Tantum. I'm 23 years old now. Always was a huge sports fan. Baseball, basketball, football, tennis, like hockey even sometimes, like everything. The main sports I played were tennis and baseball. As I got to high school, some of the friends I made that did not play baseball told me, baseball's boring or whatnot. And that kind of got me thinking as I headed to college. But yeah, so and I should mention that I'm from New Jersey, Central New Jersey. So I grew up a Yankees fan. But I'm not one of those Yankees fans that, brings up the rings all the time. I think that's kind of annoying.
It's crazy.
But yeah. So that's a little quick background about me, I guess.
Yeah, there's some crazy Yankee fans, but yeah.
Oh, they're like I'm saying it even though I'm kind of a Yankees fan, but they're kind of like a cult sometimes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's
I
kind
know.
of scary.
Sometimes I'm scared to say that, like, oh yeah, I like the Yankees or whatever, because there are people also that are like total Yankees like haters. So let's talk about MLB Fits. So you're the creator of that account. You created that. Tell me, I want to know, how and why did you create that? Like you said, you grew up, watching sports and like playing baseball and everything, but what made you make this Instagram?
Yeah, so at the time I was a sophomore at Villanova University, and I've been following this account on Instagram for a while. It's called League Fits. It's like the main outfits page for basketball. Sports was always my passion, and is always my passion. Like, I don't know, there's just something about like athletes and like they're like, I don't know, it just gets me excited. So anyway, one day on a League Fits post, this like MLB player, I don't think he's in MLB anymore, but at the time, he commented, he's like, "We need something like this for Major League Baseball or whatever." And I was like, you know what, he's right. At the time, League Fits was actually following me, so that was like an added bonus. So I DM'd him, like the player that is, and I'm like, we should start this like together. Like, you could be a co-founder. Like, I'll do it, but I just really need kind of like your name behind it. And he's like, yeah, I'm down. And so really for me, the purpose behind it was like, yeah, showing off the outfits of baseball players is one thing, to be honest. Especially at that time, they weren't well dressed. They're getting better. I'm trying to help out a little bit on that, but like, and that was one thing for me as well. Jump ahead of it while I can, because I think as you see more and more players from like Generation Z come up, like they're more into their fashion and stuff like that. But for me, it wasn't just about the outfits in of themselves. It was about the fact that it's like representative of like a player's personality. And it was really just to be like kind of a player's first platform, showcase like players, whether it's their outfits, their hobbies off the field, anything that like is an intersection between baseball and pop culture, just to really, one, I think it's good for the players to like have this, players first platform. Two, I think it's good for like attracting a younger fan base to the game, because like I go back to saying, a lot of my friends and people I knew were saying baseball is boring. So how do you like go about changing that narrative? And then with that, if it's good for the players, if it's good for like the fans, it's good for just the game as a whole. So I just took that one initial player, and then I like scroll through the list of players like who are following him, and I just reach out to them through like DMs, like just like cold outreach, and be like, hey, we got this, me and this guy started this thing, and it's a player's first platform, and we'd love to have you join, like kind of like a mission statement almost. And then I just kind of got it rolling from there, kept going and going. And honestly, I don't even really know how where I'm at now, but somehow we're here.
That's so awesome, and good for you too, because I think, it's scary to like reach out to people and like see it, because you can be told no and all that, but it's so good for the sport too. Like, I feel like it's totally like, what, you have like 77K or something already?
Yeah, about there. Yeah.
it's crazy too. And I think it's awesome to look at like for the baseball players too, like young players, it's like who are they outside of baseball? Like what they're wearing like represents, what they believe or like who they are.
Mm,
So that's awesome. That's very cool. I didn't
yeah.
know any of that. And so speaking on like the Instagram part of like how you grew, what like really took off for you? Because you just gotta start from the bottom and everything. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think like it's crazy because if I look again, like I was saying, like if I sometimes it's like, how did I get to this point? At that time, there was no such thing as like collaborative posts or anything, but just even getting them to share it on their story
right.
was big because that was some followers. I had some like pretty big giveaways at the beginning. So that was good. Like this I connected with a couple companies and groups like Baseball Lifestyle was a like day one supporter. I think I just kept following people and like
Yeah.
just the outreach, especially at the beginning. Two of the big things that have led to that are one, the collaboration posts.
Mm.
So I've like completely taken advantage of that.
Those are so nice.
I Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. It's so good for like especially the smaller account that's a part of it. So I collaborate with John Boy Media
Okay.
all the time, like
Yeah.
almost on a daily basis. The
That's
Bleacher
awesome.
Report walk off account that's been big, and then even like players, like that's a huge one for me. Like even I mean I don't do it all the time, but if there's an opportunity to do so, like those will always be huge.
I was gonna ask you, you've had so many like awesome experiences, I feel like that you've gotten from, having this account. What is probably one of your favorites that you've gotten to do?
Yeah. Well, I was recently out in Arizona a couple weeks ago, and that was probably my favorite to this point. That was like one thing that I thought would be so cool to get access to players in
Yeah.
any way, whether it's like talking to them on the phone or whatever. But only like this season, because it took a lot of work to get in the credential system. Have I been able to like get out to some games and meet some of the guys that I've been talking to like over Instagram, whatever, and that's been so cool for me. But yeah, Arizona was really cool because that was the first. I did some at spring training, but when I got to Arizona, like it was insane because their ballpark, Chase Field, is like this like dome, and it just feels massive. And when you get that early access through the credentials, there's like nobody in there when you arrive except the
That's awesome.
players. There's like
That's cool.
no music going on. It was just like it, crazy and just kind of surreal that I was able to like talk to some of the guys. That's how I got into this. Actually, I'm going to the Mets Phillies tomorrow though, which I'm really excited about because I'm not gonna lie. Um, like Bryce Harper growing up was like
Yeah.
my guy.
Oh
And
my
like
gosh, that's awesome.
at this point, if I'm being honest, like I don't get I mean, I'm excited to like talk to anybody, but like I probably don't get starstruck by like a ton of people anymore. But I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna be starstruck tomorrow by that
Yeah.
because like
That's super cool.
yeah.
So where is it? Where are you going?
I'm going to City Field, so it's like in New York City traffic sucks, but
Oh yeah,
it's
you're
like yeah, it's like an hour plus from here, but yeah, that's another thing that's been cool that's come out of this, like being able to talk to companies, um,
because it's
and stuff like
fits. Like
that.
they want to probably show off their brand and everything too. So
Exactly, exactly, and that's the thing, like through MLB Fits now, I actually work with CAA a little bit in their baseball department doing like marketing things because like partnership marketing and doing like again, reaching out to brands that I think could be a good fit. We talk with them and we've gotten some deals out of that too. But yeah, I think because MLB Fits just kind of naturally lends itself to brands and sponsorships and whatnot, just being able to post about that stuff. Post about Fernando Tatis wearing like having like the best gear in the game, whether it's with his like stadium custom kicks and his 100% vision. And yeah, that's gotten like 35,000 likes. So it's just like that organic type of like brand support that like I can provide, which I think is like a big thing as well. It's so nice when you just like when the player is like so nice that you can just like kind of feel like you can let your guard down and be comfortable. And
right.
that's one thing that I think is important with the interviews and like now I'm starting to get into interviews. Obviously, Bat Boys Baseball, they've done a great
Mhm.
job with that. Shout out to
Yeah, they
them.
have.
But like I think that's just like another thing that like with these questions and stuff and just getting to meet them, like just like they're obviously, I mean, it's self-explanatory, but some people it's easy to lose sight of the fact that they're not just like baseball players. Like they really are down to earth, like human beings
They're
who have
people.
hobbies
Yeah,
and interests and weird stories and all that stuff. So
totally.
it's cool to like get that kind of info out of them
Yeah.
and get some good content in the process, So
And something that I like too that you did is like you didn't ask like, the basic like baseball questions that like, people always ask in like on ESPN or SportsCenter or whatever. It's just like silly questions like
yeah,
what is your blah blah? Like how many times did you do this? Like something silly that people don't know about them, but whenever you hear
yeah,
like, oh yeah, I want to know their answers.
yeah. And I would like to think that like it's something that's kind of refreshing for them too a little bit
Oh, for
because it's
sure.
like oh like somebody asking a question about what you did wrong last night or you know just
Yes.
yeah like you said it's different than your typical baseball question, so maybe it's refreshing for them to just kind of like hopefully let their guard down a little bit and just kind of answer some fun stuff and have a little fun with it. So yeah,
Because they do that all the time. So you got to make it fun at least.
yeah, for sure.
That's super cool. So what's next? What is your next plan? What you said that you're going to the Mets tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to Mets Phillies tomorrow. June's actually really busy for me. I'm going to Mets Phillies tomorrow. Then June 10th, I that's gonna be awesome. I did it last year. Devontae Smith, he is a celebrity softball game.
Oh,
He has a
awesome.
ton of players there. And I actually didn't do interviews last year. I was just doing like some video content and photo content, but I'm planning on doing interviews this year. And they
Yeah,
have a ton of
totally.
guys there. Like, I mean, like almost everybody you could think of, like Jalen Hurts, Saquon's going to be there this
Oh, that's
year.
so cool.
And then June 15th and 16th, I'm going to be in Texas. They invited me out, so I'm going to do some interviews there. They're playing the Angels and the Blue Jays. If I could talk to Otani at all, I'm going to need a translator, but
Oh yeah,
that would be awesome.
that's super cool.
And then in late June, I'm going to be out in Pittsburgh doing a little bit of stuff as well, I believe. I'm seeing where MLB Fits takes me. I think it's one of those things where I did graduate college a year ago, and I'm still, um, applying to sports jobs, thinking about law school down the agency path and
And
player representation kind of MLB Fits and what I've been doing with player representation through social media kind of lends itself to that.
yeah,
I don't want to be like, 3 years from now, oh, what if I kept going with this? And, I just need to see what happens with it.
right.
A lot of cool opportunities have been popping up. So yeah, we'll take it from here. We'll do a check-in maybe a year from now and see where things
Yes,
are
that'd be awesome.
at.
Super cool. No, it's super cool to follow and like keep up with like what you're all doing and it's busy summer. I can't wait to see like all your interviews coming up and like, you out at different places like Texas and all that. That'd be super
Yeah.
cool.
It's stupid sometimes, like, but just have faith in like everything and like,
Yeah, no, definitely.
yeah,
Media industry is hard and it's tough too. Like there are times where, people will say certain things on social media or you'll get
yeah.
turned down by companies and everything.
Totally. I think like it was actually so cool for me. One of the coolest things out of this entire thing for me, which has been really weird, is like obviously like I have a good following on the MLB Fits, like the 77,000 followers or whatever. But sometimes when it's just all on social media, you kind of lose track of the fact that these are like real people and
Right.
they have like real things going on. So there's been like a couple times where people are like, "Hey, like MLB Fits, like Alex Tantum," like, and they get all excited. I'm
Really?
like this is so weird, like,
Yeah.
and but it's just like it's so insane and like cool for me to have like people like appreciate it and recognize it. Actually, I was just at my high school last week and like some of the kids were so excited and like asking all these
Yeah.
questions. I'm like, this is so cool. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like you said, it is tough. Sports work, especially like sports, it just multiplies it. Like people were like some of the kids were asking like how did you get to where you're at now, and like I did major in political science in college, so they were a little confused by that as well.
Yeah.
But it is just, I mean, I didn't sugarcoat it to them too much. Like it is just it's difficult, but it's just all about connections and reach outs, and it's just
Right.
so much of that. And even then it might not work out, but you got to try to give yourself the best chances, really. So
Yeah, 100%.
yeah,
And I think
you know well too. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's awesome too. I think it's rewarding whenever you have, people like that come up and tell you in person because like you said on social media, you don't really realize that like these are actually people that are following you and like keeping up with you and like,
yeah,
watching the players
totally,
and their outfits and everything and they come and tell you that they appreciate that. That's
totally. And yeah, like there was even in Arizona, I remember there was like walking around. There was like a security guard. There was like people in the press box. They're like, "Oh hey, like I think I just saw like your video or whatever." And it's like weird because I'm like, I don't know. Like I was just like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Like hope you liked it or whatever."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
It's awesome. It's cool to see everything that you're doing, and I'm excited to, see what's like you said, what's going to be like in a year from now because you've already grown so much. So there's no telling where it's going
right.
to be.
I think one time somebody said like there's like nobody could dress, and I think when I first started, there was like 5 to 10 people who could dress. Like I remember one of the first people who I stood out to me, probably like the first 3 players that stood out to me were like Carlos Correa, Marcus Stroman, and Blake Snell. Like they were 3 people like early on. I was like, okay, they could dress. But now it's like really expanded probably to about like I'd say there's like a solid at least like 50 guys who I think like who I could occasionally end up posting. Like some of the best now are like Machado, Lindor.
Yes,
Lindor's like my
yes,
front runner right now for like player of the year. We'll see.
that's cool.
But oh my god, that'll be another guy I'm excited to talk to tomorrow because I really like Lindor and like his family, like his wife
Oh,
follows me and I talk to her and their daughter. Oh my god,
she
their
is so
family is
cute.
like precious.
Whenever he's at like interviews, she's like, "Buck, Buck,"
Oh
she
yeah,
loves Buck. Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
but
awesome.
yeah, so that would be cool. Where are you from though?
Texas. Well,
Texas.
actually,
Okay,
okay, I'm from Texas, but my parents just moved to Missouri, like literally just
okay.
so I don't know why I said Texas. I've grown raised
Born
there.
you were born and raised there, right? Though,
I'm
so
always Texas girl,
Texas
but
girl at heart. Yeah, it's gonna stay like that for sure.
yeah.
I've
So
never been to Texas,
really,
so
you're gonna go in
yeah,
June.
I'm gonna go.
That's awesome. You're gonna love it. I hopefully you love it. They
Yeah,
have
I
the
mean,
best.
look.
If you like Mexican food, best Mexican food,
Okay, cool.
best barbecue is all there.
And where do you go to Ole Miss?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that
gotta come out there and get some content of the baseball guys.
baseball must be huge out there, right? I mean, they just won the national championship last
Yeah,
year.
they're every game. Oh my gosh, Tuesday night game, Wednesday games are all packed. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, baseball and football there must be sick too.
Yeah, yeah.
Playoffs wise, like baseball is so good. Like,
No, I love college baseball too. I love college sports. I feel like um football and everything like that is just it's so fun.
yeah, actually, like especially for me, like I actually like. I mean, I love college football. I love college baseball, but like I actually like college basketball more than the NBA usually
Really. They're
because like
so dramatic. They're so dramatic sometimes. I'm like, you guys.
oh, in
Um,
the NBA.
yes, yes.
It's just like I don't know. They just get crazy in the NBA. Like, well, to me, I feel like too, like during the regular season, especially in the NBA, like they're just like you could tell that like they're not really trying. Like there's like no defense during the regular
That
season.
literally that's what me and my dad were talking about last night. We were watching the Boston and Miami game, and I was like, they where is the defense? There's no defense. I feel like in the NBA at all. Like they're just like watch them shoot. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're not gonna
Yeah.
block that.
Um, and in college, it's like just like always intense, and obviously like March Madness is just like unmatched. But yeah, it's
Definitely.
good for
That's so
sure. Y'all should be pretty good next year in basketball or in the
our
coming years,
our
maybe.
girls team did very good this year. Like we went to the Sweet 16. I think that was the farthest we made it, which I mean, like that's the farthest we made it in like so long. So we had a really good girls team.
Yeah.
But guys, we just got a new coach. We got the
Yeah.
tennis coach.
Yeah, that's
Hopefully
why I
we're
was
good.
gonna say like
Hopefully we'll be good with him.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll
Yeah, I
see.
mean from Villanova side of things, like we're usually good at basketball. Last year we didn't make
Oh
the
yeah,
tournament.
yeah.
That sucked. Yeah, 'cause Jay Wright retired and left us. But the girls team, because that's what reminded me, the girls team was great last year. We had somebody who just went actually to Dallas Wings, is it? In the WNBA? She got drafted like third. Maddie Seegers.
Really?
Yeah, she was like she put up like 40 points a game. It was
Oh my
ridiculous. She
gosh,
was
that's
insane.
awesome. That's super
But
cool.
yeah, Yeah, lots of good stuff there too. So, and what year are you going to Ole Miss?
I'll be a sophomore. So
Sophomore.
I just finished
Gotcha.
my freshman year. It was
Yeah.
a whole experience, definitely a
Yeah, I'm
huge
sure.
transition and everything, but
Freshman year of college is crazy.
it is so much learning experiences and like you learn so much, but it's been good. It was hard first semester. I feel like with like school and like all that, but I'm excited. I'm excited to go back. I'm working with football this year coming back, so I think that
Oh,
gets me
that'd be
kind
fun.
of excited to looking forward to. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see.
That'll be cool. Yeah, I think like, and you're on the track team as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like, yeah, because I saw on your like Instagram. So that's
yeah.
like even more like stuff going on.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So people are like how do you have time to do all this? I'm like, I don't even know. I think I just had to like write a schedule and like check things off because it feels like so much sometimes, but I'm
Yeah,
enjoying
that's
it.
what I do. That's what I do. You're just, but yeah, it's just the grind. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know. Sometimes like, again, like my mom gives me this tip. I'm really close to my parents, but like my mom
Yes.
gives me this tip. She's like, you just gotta take it like one day at a time. And like I think that's really true because like I can get overwhelmed sometimes, like kind of easily.
Yeah.
So like it's just like just try to like take things one day at a time. Like
That's so
yeah,
funny.
from like a social media like perspective too, I have a lot of stuff going on because we're like a whole all-star like poll like tournament for like the MLB Fits followers like to choose. I
Cool.
did that
Yeah.
with Bleacher Report last year, and we're doing that again starting tomorrow. And then I have to like actually this is like something that's pretty cool, especially with the collab post now. Like I basically like outsource my graphics and jersey swaps to like other people, but like basically like I would say I checked this like not long ago, but like probably about like over half of the top 100 like draft prospects for this year like follow MLB Fits. I'm in contact with them, and so like I've been like, and I did this last year for the last year's draft, like where when they're drafted, like we do like a collaboration post like
So
if they're
good.
like in their new jersey.
Yes.
So like those could do pretty well good numbers, especially because this year I have like seven, excuse me, of like the top 10 following
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
feel like those will probably get a lot of like reposts too, because people are gonna be so hyped for all that, and
Yeah.
those are so
It's all
fun.
about the algorithm. You gotta go against the algorithm. It's hard.
Yeah,
I mean, Instagram pushes the reels now more. But like
it's so tricky.
from it's tricky. It's definitely tricky. It's like all about like saves and reposts and comments and like all this stuff. But that's why for me, it's like even if I get like even if there's like negative comments on whether it's about me on a reel or like on something that I posted about, like I'm just like, all right, cool, because like the more comments, like the better. So
Literally, yeah. It's like I saw this thing, I forgot what it was like, but it was like haters will probably boost your algorithm more than, you
for
know,
real,
they're like you're hating, but you're commenting, like you're
for
giving me
real, like
comments.
it's so
So
true. It's so true, and I get honestly like that's another thing that I didn't even mention. Like what's cool with the interview thing is that I'm starting to post them on like my TikTok as well.
mhm.
And like TikTok's great for that stuff. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a video with Andrew Chafin, who's like he's a funny dude, or like Theo Vaughn. Like I got a video with Chafin, like a million views, and like
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
like it's I mean, yeah. So like but whether it's on like TikTok or Instagram, like I get these comments from people, like it's just like
But also, you gotta think too. It's like you're out there doing it. They're probably commenting from their couch, not
well, I think
like
about that and like some of them are
too
just
much.
some of them are just funny to me because it's like
Yeah, you
this
just
one
got
guy comments every time and he literally doesn't he has no followers and no following. So I'm like, whose burner is this? They comment about like, my glasses, or the one comment that like sometimes annoys me honestly is when people are like, they're not bat boys, like you're not bat boys, or like bat
oh
boys are
my
bad.
gosh.
Like
There's no need to compare.
I'm not trying to be in competition with them though.
Yeah, they're
That's
doing their
one
own
thing.
thing. You're doing your own thing.
Like yes, and we're both like there's room for like more than one person, and like oh people say like, and then another thing is like I'm sorry but like they don't have ownership over like this space or question, like
Yeah.
by your logic, like do you just like hate like any ESPN reporter or any sideline reporter? Because like, yeah. But
Yeah,
anyway,
and also
I
like
got nothing but love for them. Like,
yeah,
but like,
y'all are both like unique in your own ways too. Like,
yeah, and they're like completely on that content. Like I do like some of that content, but like that's not my main focus right now.
thank you for your time, and like I know you're super busy and all that, but I really appreciate it.
Of course, we'll stay connected too. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
for
Keep doing what
sure.
you're doing for sure.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow at MLB Fits on Instagram and also give Alex a follow. Make sure you're keeping up with all the fashion. Comment down below who you think has the best drip in MLB. I'll see you guys next time on the Clubhouse.